This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Ah, what majesty, what grace, what be here but the gifts of God upon the good men of Middle-earth. Hi, it's Vauldemare here, as Farin the Dwarf, with Lord of the Rings War in the North. We have heard much of the story of Middle-earth and those around it, and today we shall hear the ending stories to those, as we continue forward. So bring the popcorn, folks, as we will talk to more people in the halls of Rivendell. Ah, good Gimli, Master Dwarf. It is good to see another.
Gimli, son of Glóin, this is a happy meeting. But what brings you to Rivendell? What has passed for good or ill since I left the mountain?
Aye, and it's good to see you again, kinsman. I've heard of your exploits at Sarnford and Fornost. They sing your praises here. After you left to aid in the protection of the Shire, the foul messenger from Mordor returned yet again with more threats. King Dain thought it best to seek advice from Elrond. He chose Glóin to speak for him. When my father set out, I refused to be left behind, as happened with Thorin's quest. You were there at the Battle of the Five Armies, while I was left to cool my heels at the hearthside. Well, not this time. I go with the hobbit Frodo and his chosen 9, even if one of them must be a wood elf.
Apparently according to this, Farin was at the Battle of Five Armies, which happened like 70 years ago in the story of Lord of the Rings. Tell me about Frodo.
I know little of hobbits. What think you of this Frodo with such a burden to bear?
I know that he's Bilbo's adopted heir, and that such great folk as Elrond and Gandalf regard him with honor. He's already come far with the ring, and endured the knives of those Nazgul. That's good enough for me. He's hereabouts somewhere if you wish to speak with him.
An elf of Mirkwood?
Who's this wood elf you spoke of? It's a long way from the forests of Mirkwood.
Legolas is his name, a fair-haired princeling and son to King Thranduil. Elrond has chosen him to represent the kindred of elves in Frodo's party. His purpose in Rivendell was to report that they'd let a prisoner escape. An easier escape than my father had when they held him in their dungeons.
But that was a long time ago.
Come, Gimli, that's an old grudge, and not even your own. The elves of Mirkwood fought and died alongside us in the Battle of Five Armies, and my new friend, Andriel, has saved my hide more than once.
Aye, true enough. For Frodo's sake, I must bear the company of Legolas and make the best of it. Perhaps he won't be entirely insufferable. And besides, we've enough to worry about as it is, what with this Agandaur skulking about in the north.
You see glory in battle?
The Battle of Five Armies was long and terrible, and many valiant lives were lost. Glory's of little use to the dead.
You say it as one who has won a share of glory and lived to tell of it, and doubtless will do so again. Don't begrudge me this chance to show the worth of a dwarf against hopeless odds. But in truth, it's not for glory I take this road. It's for the sake of all who lie under the shadow of the enemy. It's Frodo who bears the true burden.
You worry about the north?
We killed an orc chieftain and drove Agandaur from his stronghold. What worries you about the north?
Before we left, we heard that Mordor was stirring up the Easterlings. But should they be foolish enough to move against King Brand of Dale, they'll find King Dain of Erebor standing fast at his side. But every step of the way here, we heard rumor of new gatherings of orcs and goblins and worse things. And though the fearful count every enemy twice, there may be some truth to it. You found such enemies at Fornost. When Sauron strikes, there will be more than one land that feels his wrath. I fear for the Shire and Rivendell, but my heart would rest more easily if I knew you kept watch over them. If Farin of the Lonely Mountain defends the north, then no enemy can prevail.
You don't ask much, but my friends and I will do what we can. If you can bear the honor of the dwarves on your quest, I can do no less here. You have my word on it.
Ah, good dwarf. Good man. Well, dwarf is better. I've got one more question to ask you.
What's this, kinsman? You dally in Rivendell when there's important work to be done. And if the scouts dally, so do we. I may be forced to go troll hunting in your place.
Yeah, you worry about the north.
We killed an orc chieftain and drove Agandaur.
Oh, I already. Never mind.
Before we left,
I thought there was a question about the south somewhere in there.
When Sauron strikes.
Never mind. That was pointless, folks. Sorry for doing that. Alright. Ah, a hobbit. Who be his name? Frodo, the text bubble says so. Hello, good sir.
Hello. You are foreign, aren't you? I was hoping I would get a chance to speak with you.
Hi, and you must be Frodo Baggins. Aragorn and Gandalf have told me all about you, and the burden you bear.
Likewise, they have told me all about you. I wanted to thank you and your friends for all you did to keep us safe on our journey to Rivendell.
You're very welcome.
You're most welcome, lad. Just happy to have been of service. Especially after we learned how important our task really was.
It seems as if I owe everyone thanks. You, Aragorn, Elrond. Without the help of each of you, I wouldn't be here now.
We should thank you.
We should be thanking you. It took a lot of courage to get past everything that stood between here and the Shire.
Thank you for saying so, but I don't feel brave, just very fortunate.
There are all kinds of courage.
Don't sell yourself short, lad. I hear you chose to be the one to bear the ring into Mordor. You can't get much braver than that.
I'll try to bear that in mind. I only hope I can measure up to everyone's expectations.
You will.
I'm guessing you'll do that and more besides. You'd best rest now while you can. You have a long road ahead.
Oh, I still need to talk to you about something. Oh, what is that? I gotta look at that. Ah, speak with Frodo and Rivendell. I got another question for you.
Hello again. This stay in Rivendell has done wonders for me. I almost feel like my old self.
Tell me about your journey.
Will you tell me about your journey here? Sounds as if it were a rough one.
We had trouble almost from the start. The Black Riders were always just behind us, and we nearly met disaster in the Burrow Downs, at Bree, and again at Weathertop.
The Barrow Downs?
You came through the Burrow Downs? I won't soon forget that accursed place. You were lucky to come out alive. That's no place for hobbits to go a-wandering.
You seem to know a great deal about the Burrow Downs already. I'd prefer not to speak about what we found there. It is too horrible to dwell on, even here in the safety of Rivendell.
Bree?
What happened to you in Bree? We must have just missed crossing paths there.
There were spies in Bree, and our room was attacked in the night. If Strider hadn't convinced us to sleep elsewhere, our journey would have ended then and there.
Weathertop.
What happened at this place called Weathertop?
We were attacked by 5 of the Black Riders. I was foolish, and I put on the ring. One of them wounded me before Aragorn managed to drive them away. The knife that was used against me left a shard in the wound. From what Gandalf has told me, the fragment was working its way inward. If it had reached my heart, I would have become a wraith under the power of the Black Riders. Fortunately, we were able to reach Rivendell in time for Elrond's healing arts to save me.
Show me the ring.
It is a little thing, this ring, but filled with mischief. Will you show it to me?
No, I mean, I'm sorry, but Gandalf and Elrond have warned me against revealing the ring to anyone, even proven friends. I hope you understand.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I think I do begin to understand. I shouldn't have asked. Forgive me.
There is nothing to forgive. But the ring, it has a strange effect on everyone around it. It is better for it to remain hidden.
I wish you luck.
It truly is a heavy burden you bear, Frodo. I hope you find strength and wisdom on the long road ahead. Farewell.
Frodo the Ring Bearer, probably one of the more tragic heroes of fantasy books. And also played by, I forgot his name now, the character who played him. He's a really good actor. He's played in a bunch of roles. I'll remember it later. Now, let's talk to Glóin, father of Gimli. What does he have to say?
Farin, my lad, by my beard, it's good to see you again. When you left Erebor to stand guard on the Shire, Gimli and I feared we might be seeing the last of you. Now I hear you stood with the Rangers in the battle against the Nazgul at Sarn Ford, and bested an orc chieftain at Fornost. Good work.
I can't take all the credit. I had Andriel, an elf of Rivendell, and the ranger, Erodan, at my back.
Reminds me of the old days when dwarves, elves, and men fought together in the Battle of the 5 Armies.
Elijah Wood! That's the name of that guy's character. Alright, back to the story. The old days.
Then I've your blessing being allied with an elf?
I will speak plainly. I may be less than fond of King Thranduil's wood elves for keeping me in their dungeons, but I've no grudge with any of Elrond's folk.
So I've heard you say many times, but the elves fought beside us when it mattered most.
You're right, of course. I can be a stiff-necked old dwarf, but it's time to set aside grievances that were long ago repaid. When dwarves, men, and elves fought together at Erebor, we overcame legions of foes. But we face a far more terrible enemy in the Dark Lord. Standing together against Agendar may be more than just a good idea. It may be our only hope to save the North.
Don't forget the Eagles.
Let's not leave out the Eagles. They've been a big help to us.
Well spoken. Thorin's quest and the Battle of Five Armies would have met disaster without the help of the Eagles. You're fortunate to have gained the friendship of such noble creatures. Your life may well depend upon your choice of friends, whatever kindred they be.
Maybe all this will help Frodo.
And besides, it wouldn't hurt to keep Sauron a little distracted. If we keep him second-guessing his plans for the conquest of the North, it could only help Frodo in the long run.
That's my thoughts upon the matter, too. Be the stinging fly in the ointment, as it were. Only this fly's sting will be deadly. And it's time to be about your business. Goodbye, and good luck to you.
Yes, his story was big in the Hobbit tales, which later this year, making this video timeless now, anyway, will be the Hobbit movie being directed. I can't wait for it. Allura, who are you?
Welcome, Dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Welcome to Imladris. Are you in need of anything to help you in your travels? I have many things in my keeping that might serve you well.
Oh, maybe you're a company. Well, I mean, Imladris?
Imladris? Where is that?
Your pardon. This is Imladris, the house of Elrond Half-Elven. We who dwell here call it by that name, but it is more commonly known as Rivendell.
I already knew that, yet the question was still there. I had to ask it. You welcome dwarves?
I'm surprised to find elves who are so hospitable to a dwarf. Pleased, mind you, but surprised nonetheless.
In other places there may be distrust between elf and dwarf, but all who bear no ill will toward the elves are welcome here. You have already done a great deal to aid our common cause, so I am happy to call you an ally and a friend.
Very happy to be your friend.
Oh, it's an honor to be called friend by such a gracious and beautiful lady.
I was unaware that dwarves had such flattering tongues. Perhaps you should look at the stores I have on hand. Maybe you will find something else to catch your eye.
Oh, yes. Who lives here?
What sort of folk dwell here in Rivendell?
Elves, for the most part. My people have dwelt in Imladris for a very long time indeed. But there are other folk to be found here as well. Elrond welcomes all people of goodwill. The Dunedain come often. Your own folk come occasionally. We are even home to one special hobbit.
Even though I know who this is, I'm going to ask it anyway. Who is this hobbit?
Who is this hobbit you speak of?
Why, it is none other than Bilbo the Magnificent, greatest of the Shire folk. Your folk know him well as the hobbit who overthrew the dragon Smaug and helped reclaim your lost realm of Erebor. Although these days he is more interested in poetry than adventure. And food and drink, of course. Keeping a hobbit well fed is enough to keep several stewards busy.
Ah, Bilbo, hero of the last tale of the Hobbit, or There and Back Again, the Hobbit's Holiday. Anyway, is Rivendell safe?
This is such a peaceful place. It must take a fair number of warriors to keep it so.
This is a place of learning and peace, not a fortress or camp of war. But there are those here who wield great power, especially the Lord Elrond. Yet even he does not have the strength to overthrow the Dark Lord, or to resist him if he comes against us with great strength.
I hope to prevent that.
I intend to do all I can to see that day never comes.
Nobly spoken. I am told you have done great deeds on behalf of all free folk, and I am certain you will accomplish greater things still. But if you plan to contend with the enemy, you must be well prepared. Perhaps you should examine the stores we have on hand.
Quit trying to sell your crap. Tell me of Elrond.
What can you tell me about Elrond?
To tell you everything I know of Master Elrond would take many days. Let it suffice to say that he is an elven lord of great and noble lineage, ancient beyond mortal reckoning, and wise beyond measure. None are more skilled as a healer, or more versed in the lore of ages past.
Who are you?
My thanks for the welcome, lady. Might I ask your name?
No, indeed. I am Alare, one of Master Elrond's stewards. I help to manage the needs of his household, including arms and armor. I suspect you might have need of such things.
Fine, what do you got? Keep trying to sell your crap. But you are a hot elven lady. We shall abide. So wait, if it sells essentials, why doesn't it sell that too? Okay. Let's see. Ooh, 40 fire damage? Damn. Anyway, I don't want to sell that, of course. Let's see. Yeah, might as well sell it. I don't need those anymore. Yeah, nothing there. Sell that. I'll keep it for now. I probably don't even need it, though. Let's see. Don't need that. Or that. Well, I don't need the strength because I've got one that's better. Although this one's more, which doesn't make any sense. 2 decks, but it has a slot. I'll go and sell it. Keep that for now. Gotta sell some pants. Is that pants? Is that starch pants? Oh, that's right. That's the 2 slots. I'll just see if I want to beef that up. Okay, bye. What do we got? Ooh, new helmets. Oh, that's pretty cool. +3 will and +3 dex. Oh, that's why it costs so much. What is my helmet currently at right now? 49. Jeez, that is a big jump. And I can wear it. It looks like it's not a... Damn, there goes all that. Might as well see if there's a weapon to buy too that I want. Oh, that's pretty good right there. 178 to 126. Damn, that is a lot better. I may be switching back to two-handed for a while, maybe. Oh wow, look at that. +55 crit damage. Holy sh! There's a lot of good weapons here. It's hard to decide because you can either get more ammo or that's a tough decision because having extra armor for like less damage is a really good idea. Maybe I should be sword and board. Boy, that is a tough one. See, that one does a lot more damage, but I can get more. I don't have to worry about healing too much. Ugh. I don't need those. How much is my pants? 28. And that one is 38, but there's also healing stuff too. Yeah, let's go with that. That one's a bit more. Then again, I can always come back here and buy stuff later if I really need to. Holy crap. Alright. Decision time. Do I want to do more damage or do I want to have more... Oops. More healing. Or more. Man, why am I just being special today? Ugh. I think it's just because it's so cold. It's like 30 degrees out where I am. It's hard to handle. Yeah, let's go and buy that. And I saw some... Oh yeah, I don't have the... Alright, let's equip that stuff first. Oops. Let's equip this really good helmet. Heck yeah. Get myself a two-handed weapon there. And give myself some smith leggings. Well, now we know I don't need to keep that old mace anymore, because this one's better. Oh, you know, I just realized that Elrond's items. Hold on. Maybe I might have something better anyway. Oh, okay. Potions, huh? Temporary benefits. 2 minutes. Power sky. Health times 2. Stun. That's pretty cool right there. I like that one. Do I want more health, or do I want people to pay for attacking me? Let's go with the potion of retribution. And... Are you kidding me? That does... Oh, I was about to say, that does nothing? Oh, I need high will for that, don't I? See, 2, 4, and 12. Reflect damage. More health, more damage for my bow, and I reflect damage back. This probably works well for me because of the armor and strength and will and stuff like that. That would be better for like the ranger if I use my bow as much, so let's go with that. Although I don't have the will yet, I don't think. Let me check. No, I do. Okay. Let's see. This one's the strength ring, so I'm going to go ahead and unequip that and switch to that. Alright, there you go. Sorry, I know this is clearly very exciting, folks, for all of you. 37. That's not much more. I can save my money on that. 42. What's my initial armor at right now? That's a bit. Oops. I may buy that. Let me check and see what else I've got. 20 armor. What have I got currently? Oh, 1 stamina? Definitely. You know. Let's see. Can't afford that. Oh, look at that. 52? Oh, War Master only. Never mind. I can't even equip it. Yeah, let's go and get that bow. Alright, we have really poked ourselves up with some new... Damn, there you go. Alright, we are good to go. I think we have talked to everyone in... Oh wait, is there a person there? It's Bilbo Baggins! Come in and get to know me greater, man.
Hello! Always happy to meet a dwarf. And one from the Lonely Mountain, if I'm not mistaken.
I am Faran of Erebor, and we've met before, Bilbo Baggins.
Have we now? Oh, I'm afraid I don't recall. You'll have to forgive me. I've grown somewhat forgetful lately.
We met upon your last visit to Erebor. I guess that was near 20 years ago now. And before that, I had the honor of sharing the field with you at the Battle of 5 Armies. That was my first real taste of battle. I was hardly more than a lad at the time, but it was a glorious day.
Oh, yes, the Battle of the 5 Armies. A nasty business, that. Personally, I'm glad those days are behind us. But then again, it seems as if they may not be. Everything seems to be pointing to some dark times ahead. Speaking of which, I'm told that you and your friends did a great deal to help my Frodo and the Dunedain reach Rivendell safely. You'll have to tell me all about it one of these days so I can write it down properly.
Are you a historian?
Write it down. Are you a chronicler as well as a hero?
A chronicler? Oh, no more of an enthusiastic scribbler, really. History is just one of my interests. Lately, I've been working on poetry, mostly. Say, maybe you could help me with that. I'm writing a poem for Aragorn, and I'm a bit stuck on a line or two.
Let's hear it.
Are you now? Well then, let me hear what you have.
Very well, very well. The verse that's giving me trouble runs like this. The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled.
Oh, sorry for cracking my knuckles. Very wonderful. The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is a hope that has dwindled. A bloody sword he swings to do all sorts of good things. The sign of Westernness kings to challenge the Lord of the Rings. Huh. Well, let's see. that seems kind of silly. The sign, I'm going to do with that one. The sign of Westernness kings.
The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled. The scion of Westernness kings.
Why, yes, that's just the thing, isn't it? Oh, my friend, you should consider exchanging those weapons of yours for the poet's pen.
We need weapons now.
The enemy won't be stopped by poetry, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm afraid you're right, but since these old hands are not much use with the sword, I'll just keep on with the pen. Though I'll need some help. Perhaps you could show this to the Lady Arwen. She has her people's gift with words, and this touches her deeply after all.
Arwen?
Arwen. And who is that?
Why, she's Elrond's daughter, of course, and Aragorn's beloved as well. Although you didn't hear that from me, she's a sweet lady, and I'm sure she'd be willing to give me a hand with this.
I'll take it to her.
I'll take it to her.
Ah, thanks very much. Be sure to give her my compliments, won't you?
I shall.
I'll be sure to do that. Farewell, Bilbo.
Sorry, Bilbo, I've got more talk to you. Hold on.
Greetings. I hope the Lady Arwen will have some good suggestions for my verse. I'm really most eager to finish the thing.
Investigate. Tell me about Frodo.
This Frodo, he is your heir. But I had not heard that you had a son.
Oh, no, he's not my son. Actually, he's my first cousin once removed. And also my second cousin once removed. Well, it's complicated, but we share a great-grandfather. The poor lad was orphaned at an early age, and so I adopted him. Made him my heir, all nice and legal, while simultaneously dashing the greedy hopes of my odious relations, the Sackville Baggins. He's a good lad, Frodo. I only wish he hadn't inherited my troubles along with my estate. I hope that Gandalf and the Dunedain will keep him safe in the days ahead.
The Dunedain?
The Dunedain? Who do you mean?
Why, Aragorn, of course. From the Elvish, Dunedain, man of the West. Númenorian. Around here, Aragorn is often known simply as the Dunedain. A remarkable man, Aragorn, and a good friend. I almost wish that I could accompany him on his grand quest, but I'm far too old for adventures now. I only hope I will be spared long enough to write it all down.
Tell me about the One Ring.
Can you tell me how Frodo came to hold the Ring of Power?
Well, yes, that was through me, I'm afraid. I found the ring by happenstance while lost beneath the roots of the Misty Mountains. I won it. That is to say, I took it from the creature Gollum. Of course, I did not know the full story of the ring until only a few days ago. I thought it was merely a magical bauble with the power to make the wearer invisible. I only used it to avoid unwelcome visitors. Imagine that old ring of mine causing such a fuss. I would gladly take charge of it again if that would help. Oh, yes. Gladly. Yes. You know, I think it would be best if we discussed something else.
Probably good. Aragorn, what about him?
Do you know Aragorn well?
Oh, yes. I first met Aragorn, let's see, well, it must be more than 15 years ago now. His adventures keep him away from Rivendell far too much for my liking, but he's my chief source of news whenever he does return. A remarkable man, Aragorn, and a good friend. I almost wish that I could accompany him on his grand quest, but I'm far too old for adventures now.
Alright, you're repeating yourself, Frodo.
I spared long enough to write it all down.
You're repeating yourself, man. I'll leave you to your old work.
Well, you'll never finish that poem if I don't stop pestering you with my questions. So, farewell for now.
It's kind of sad, though, that when you play this game as, like, one character, all the other characters just follow you and don't do anything. They don't pick up or comment except for in story-based things, so kind of sad, but you can only expect so much from games like this. Not every game is BioWare, you know. Arwen, my lady, I've got a poet for you to finish.
Well met, Farin. It is good of you to visit me again. My thoughts stray often to Estelle and my brothers, but also to you and your companions. I continue to brew Miraval, but I am concerned about our dwindling stocks. We still have need of those ingredients I spoke of before.
Calm down, lady. Calm down. Okay? What do you think of Bilbo?
It's been many years since I first met Bilbo the Renowned, and it's an honor to meet him again. There's no one quite like him, don't you think?
I had once thought Bilbo unique, but now that I have met Frodo, I say that elves know less of hobbits than we think. They have a strength within that is far greater than their stature. How many of us, thinking ourselves strong, could have borne the ring as long as Bilbo did, without being turned to evil? It sustained him, so that he is now very old amongst his kind, but it did not stain him. Nor has it lessened his love of poetry and song. Dear old Bilbo, I believe there is nothing he loves more, except a good meal. In that, he remains a true hobbit.
He sends this to you.
Bilbo asked for help with a poem. I'm fond enough of the dwarvish sort of poetry, but this elvish verse is beyond me. He asked for your help, saying the subject is a matter very close to your heart.
Then it must be about Estelle. He is fond of writing verses in honor of his good friend, and therefore often comes to me for advice. You may leave it with me, Farin. I will give it some thought and answer him myself.
Thank you, that's a relief. It's not for a dwarf to be writing lines about the kings of men. And anyway, I have little time to spare for poetry. By your leave, lady, I should be going. Farewell.
We've completed the quest. I don't know what we get, or maybe we have to talk to Bilbo later. But finally, we have talked to everyone in Rivendell. We now have to go to the Ettenmoors and follow our own path as we try to distract Sauron in our own way by fighting Agendour, whatever. A weird, funny name that needs to be destroyed. But we shall do that in the next episode. No more popcorn talk, now for action. We shall see you next time. Thank you all for watching.